Good morning. I've decided to participate in the Reading Rush, which is happening later in July. It's an event hosted by a couple YouTubers, Ariel Bassett and Raylene LeMay. You can check out the event at thereadingrush.com, which I'll link below. It's basically this week of reading where you try to read books that fit prompts. There are 7 prompts. You can read as many books as you want to, or as few books as you want to. The point is to have fun. Yeah, so you can choose a book that fits multiple prompts. So you could technically read just one book if it fit all 7 prompts, which would be pretty impressive, I think. More impressive than reading 7 books that fit, like one for each prompt. If you could find one that fits them all, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I've decided to participate this year. Last year, I heard about it after the event was over, so I was kind of bummed and thought it would be fun to do. Luckily, I saw something about it this year before it happened, so I'll be able to participate. The books I've picked out, I think I've picked out a good selection that will be achievable. Since this is my first time, I don't want to be overly ambitious, and I kind of want to be able to complete the challenge or read all the books on my list. So I haven't picked 7 books. I have 4. They're not very big, but I want to say that it'll be easy because I feel like I can really, I think this will be, what I've chosen will be pretty easy to get through in a week. But then I don't want to jinx myself, because if anything comes up that disrupts the week, or I really don't like the books that I'm reading, then that will really make this difficult. Alright, so here are the prompts that we were given. The first one is pick a book that is the same color as your birthstone. In my case, I was born in November, so mine is the topaz, and that's yellow. I did not own any yellow books. I certainly own books that I could say maybe fit, where they're kind of like off-white, like kind of tan looking, but not quite yellow. But I really wanted to not just pick anything with these prompts. I didn't want any throwaways. I didn't want any questionable picks. The second prompt is a book that starts with the word the. I looked through my shelf and I have plenty of books that start with the word the. And then the third prompt is read a book that inspired a movie that you've seen. So basically a book that has a movie where you've seen the movie but you haven't read the book yet. I thought that was interesting. Sort of a reverse of what usually happens. Usually we read a book and then we watch the movie. And then the fourth prompt was kind of weird and kind of tricky. The first book you touch, which is really open to interpretation. I went sort of literal. And then the fifth prompt is read a book completely not in your house. So read a book completely outside. The hosts have said that you can be flexible with this. You can be creative with trying to sort of break this prompt, considering how people are not really being encouraged to go outside right now. If they don't have like some place that they can go, if you don't have a porch or you don't have a yard. I thankfully have a friend who does have a porch, so I will be going there to read. Prompt 6, a genre that scares you, or your least read genre. On the website, I think the prompt actually says a genre that you like wish you could read more, or wish that you read more, or something like that, or want to read more. This is what they said when they were doing their video showing the hosts. When they did their video showing what they were doing, this is how they worded it. Either way, what probably fits this category best is contemporary or romance, or both. Contemporary romance. I don't read a lot of contemporary. I'm not really drawn to it. And then I sort of actively dislike romance. And so, yeah. The last prompt is to read a book set in a different continent than the one that you live in. So I live on the North American continent, so I'm looking for a book set anywhere but here. As for my picks, my first pick is Tin Man by Sarah Winman. This is an audiobook. I had an audiobook credit, so I figured I could use that to get something that I don't have, because I certainly don't have some books that fit some of these criteria, such as a yellow book. I did not have a yellow book. And I also don't have any romance. I figured I'd try and find a yellow romance audiobook. Plus, I thought that mixing up the media might make this a little bit easier to accomplish, and also make it a little bit more fun. Yeah, so Tin Man is a romance. It's, from what I recall of the summary, it's these two boys who I think fall in love, but then we flash forward and one of them has disappeared and the other one is married, and then you go from there. That piqued my interest, even though it's a romance. That's okay. It's got some other interesting elements in it, and I'm looking forward to listening to it. It's also only 4.5 hours long, which is one of the shorter audiobooks that I've ever listened to. And I think that will make it perfect for this challenge. I'm thinking that I could probably listen to it on my lunch breaks at work, and that would be enough. So that book fits 3 prompts, actually. It fits the first one, the same color as my birthstone, because it's yellow. And then it fits prompt 6, a genre you've read the least, romance. And then it also fits prompt 7, book set on a different continent, because it is set in Europe. It's set in England. The next book that I chose was The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. And so this book I chose because it starts with the word the, so it fits prompt 2, and then it also inspired a movie that I have seen. I've seen The Wizard of Oz. I haven't read the book. And I had it, and it's short, so I thought this fits perfectly. And it's not something I was planning on reading anytime soon, so this is a good excuse to read it. I'm looking forward to finally reading this book. Now, the next book is A Princess of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs. This book fits the 4th prompt, the first book you touch. While I was watching videos about the reading rush, I was looking through my bookshelves trying to find books that would fit some of the prompts. I was looking for a book that would fit the first prompt, same color as my birthstone, and I thought maybe this book could work, but it just, I don't know. It's not yellow, it's like a burnt orangey color, so it doesn't really fit. But it is the first book that I touched when looking for books for the other prompts. So I figured when I was looking back and trying to figure out how I was going to pick a book for that prompt, that I would just go with this one, because it's technically the first book I read after I started looking for books. And it's short. I've started it already. I started it last year, but I didn't finish it because I had just finished a collection of H.G. Wells stories, and I was sort of burnt out on that style and that genre. And when I was reading this, it just reminded me of H.G. Wells, and I was kind of tired of it, so I put it down. But it technically also fits the 3rd prompt because it's inspired a movie that I've seen, which is John Carter, that Disney movie. And I liked that movie, so I'm looking forward to this. I am. And then the last book that I'm reading is Sandman, Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes. I've been wanting to read this for a while. I have read a Sandman Overture and I really liked it, and so I really wanted to read the actual, like, the beginning of the series, because Overture is prequel, but it's like the most recent one to come out. So this is the very beginning, the very first. I'm looking forward to finally starting the series. And this fits prompt 5, read a book completely not inside your house. Read a book outside. I figured if I am going to be sitting outside and reading, I'd pick something fairly short and easy to get through. I thought a comic book would fit really well, and I had a couple ideas of different comic books I could read, but I was able to pick this up, and I'm really excited to read this. So this is what I'm going to read for that prompt. I'm having a really hard time not reading it right now and waiting, but I can read. Just a summary, I'm reading Tin Man, which is fitting prompts 1, 6, and 7 by Sarah Winman. And then I'm reading The Wizard of Oz, which is fitting prompts 2 and 3. And then A Princess of Mars, which is fitting prompt 4. And then The Sandman, Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes, which is fitting prompt 5. So those are my books. I'm really excited. I think that this will be pretty easy to get through, provided there aren't any hiccups along the way. It'll be fun. I need something to sort of mix up my reading right now because I'm in a weird reading place. I'm currently reading 2 different books. I'm reading Pushing Ice by Alistair Reynolds and The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. And I'm at the same place in both of them, about a third of the way through. And I want to read other things. Lately, I've been reading a little bit of a book and then I want to put it down and pick up something else, which is not okay because I also need to finish. I have such a hard time not finishing books. Like, it bothers me when I don't finish a book, which is why I have so few DNFs. Like, I have like 2. This is a problem because I can't start a bunch of books and not finish them. It will drive me insane. Hopefully this reading rush will be interesting and fun enough to sort of break me out of whatever weird reading, not a slump, I would say. I'm just feeling weird about my reading right now. Well, thank you for watching. Let me know what books you would choose for this. Even if you don't really want to participate, what would you pick? It's fun to just kind of see what would fit and what you think that you would be able to read in a week. Good luck if you are doing the reading rush. Alright, have a nice day. See you guys next time.